What's up, guys? Today we're going over the new sword, the Ergo Sum, which not only is a special exotic sword in the energy slot, it also has Wolfpack Rounds? What? So in this video, we're going to be quickly going over how to get this sword and how to farm the random rolls that it has, going over what Wolfpack Rounds on a sword even is, and how good it is, DPS, all that good stuff. So once you do the main campaign, you'll get a questline called Destined Heroes, and just track it. Very straightforward. You have to do a few like side quests along the way, but I'm not gonna go over every step. Just track it, go where it says. Pretty straightforward. But once you have the sword, to farm random rolls on the sword, twice per week you can do a Pathfinder reward by completing a path. Then there is an activity on the new play space called Overthrow. I haven't done this yet, and it says rewards the sword, so I'm not sure if that's just like a chance or it's guaranteed every clear. So obviously starting off with Wolfpack Rounds, powered heavy attacks cause nearby sword wielders to emit tracking missiles with every attack. So with this sword, we do a heavy attack, we'll get Pack Hunter for 10 seconds, and now every single light attack will spawn in one Wolfpack that will track and do damage, and every charged heavy attack, so as long as you have a little bit of energy, it will then spawn in 3 Wolfpacks. And this will apply Wolfpack Rounds to not only your sword itself, but also if you dual wield swords and have a heavy weapon on, it will also work for your heavy sword and your nearby allies, just like G-Horn for rockets. So here, as you see, Alex gave me Wolfpacks, and I'm using a guillotine, and I have Wolfpack Rounds. Another thing I had to try was, no, it does not give Wolfpacks to rockets. That would have obviously been kind of broken, but that is not the case. And now we look at the damage that these Wolfpacks do. So every light attack will spawn in 1, every heavy attack will be 3, and they do roughly like 4,000 on Carl, 4,061, which might not seem like a lot, but compared to the damage of the light attack and the heavy attack, it's effectively a 26 and a 29% increase on this sword. And those numbers will change based off what sword you're using. And just like with rockets, weapon perks does increase the damage of the Wolfpack Rounds. So with Bait and Switch and Frenzy, as you see, the Wolfpacks do more damage. Before we can really break down DPS on the sword, we have to talk about the 8 different exotic perks you can get. First, Wolfpack Rounds, as we showed, Gathering Light, and I'll be making a part 2 video going over all these down the road once I get my hands on them. Then we have Sacred Flame, the perfect 5th, and if you want to slow down and see what they all do, you can. Then we have Arc Conductor. Then we also have Stormbringer, which I'm curious about a lot. Then we have Unplanned Reprieve, one that I got on my account, which will be shown off in this video. And finally the Robot Grenades. And along with the 8 different exotic perks, there's also 5 different frames you can get on this sword. So we have Vortex Frame, then we have Caster Frame, we have a new one, Wave Sword Frame, then we have Lightweight Frame, and finally the Aggressive Frame. And that's the one I got on my sword. So I kind of got lucky, and I think I got maybe the best DPS combo. I'm not sure. Just reading what all the perks do, I think the one I got might be the best for DPS. But Alex has the Wave Sword Frame, where heavy attacks deploys a shockwave uppercut and launches the user into the air. Melee following up with a swing after the uppercut deploys a homing strike that aggressively seeks a target. So while this one will do probably the less in terms of straight damage, it will be really good for Actor and the light attack. After doing the heavy attack, you just go flying at the target like your edge, which is really cool. As we mentioned, this will be more or less maybe the best frame for just raw Actor, like a Wave Frame GL, just killing everything right in front of you. And the one I have on my account is the Unplanned Reprieve, where powered heavy attacks emit projectiles that detonate with a delayed Void Blast, and I also have the Aggressive Frame. So what does this perk do? Well, it's just Telesto. Every heavy attack will spawn in 8 of the Telesto bullets, which will explode or wait until something gets nearby. And this combo does a lot of damage on every heavy attack. As you see, the heavy attack itself does roughly 50k with the 2 numbers combined, and a lot of explosions. So the total of the damage is 77.2, and then with Wolfpacks it goes up to almost 90k. But the thing about the sword is the perk that you will always have that is not random is Transcendent Duelist, where this weapon collects less ammo. Can't really show off what that means because it's the only special sword in the game. Final blows with this weapon accelerates light and darkness mastery, help you build up transcendence faster, and deals increased damage while transcendent, and defeating targets will lengthen the transcendence itself. So looking at the damage increase, normally the sword hits for that 15,000 number. Now we pop transcendence. It's now going to hit for 22.8, which is going to be a very massive increase of over 51.2%, taking the light attack damage with Wolfpacks to 28.9, and with a heavy 135,000 with the roll I have. So that is a lot of damage every heavy attack, and this thing builds up the energy to pop Transcendence a lot quicker by giving you a chunk of both light and dark. Usually weapons only give you whatever element it is, and this being a Void Sword would normally only give the light energy, but it gives both. Then once you pop the Transcendence itself, every single final blow will refund energy, and as long as you're getting kills, you could make this thing last almost forever. It is pretty aggressive, and Transcendence is just so good and so cool. It's definitely like the new thing that really makes Prismatic special. And with a sword, not only do you get faster, you can make it last longer. So finally looking at DPS of this sword and other swords with Wolfpack Rounds, I'm going to take advantage of 2 Lucent Blades, and look at that with the sword with my roll with Wolfpack Rounds. A combo would look something like this, where you do 2 light attacks every heavy attack, and the DPS of that combo would be 80,000, which sounds good, but numbers have changed with the final shape. These are different light levels and things like that. So just comparing it to a different special, a 140 RPM shotgun that just got buffed. I'm just going to use Whirlpool as the perk. Look at the 1 mag and 2 mag. Just give like a ballpark to the sword. And the 2 mags is going to be 9.4 seconds, which means DPS is higher for the burst at almost 90,000, but over the sustain, a lot lower than the sword, and sword obviously you never have to reload, so it will just always be that 80,000 number. And more importantly, the way Wolfpacks will increase the damage of heavy swords. So looking at a Frenzy, Bane Switch, on Guillotine, the damage of the light attack with everything going on, Wolfpacks and both perks, is 38.5 thousand, and the heavy attack is 138, which is only a little bit more than that we showed off of the energy sword. So the DPS will be a little bit higher, just mostly because the light attacks do more damage. A total of 105, almost 106,000 DPS. So overall, this sword is so cool. Like, swords were already looking pretty good for DPS as is with the buff this season, and with just added Wolfpack Rounds, which aren't as impactful as like the Rocket Wolfpack Rounds, but it's still just more damage, roughly 15 to like 20% depending on your sword. On the energy sword itself, it's closer to 30. So not only is this sword making swords as a whole better for DPS, the sword itself with all the different perks, which I'll make it part 2 and breaking down even further. This sword itself for a special weapon is just incredible. There's going to be a lot of good rolls for just pure Actor. The roll I have seems to be maybe the best for just straight DPS. And overall, they've just really knocked out of the park with this sword. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for the video. Just some gameplay left from the new strike with the sword, the Wolfpack, and Waveframe one. And yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.